Hey everyone, Papercut here with another video in my plain white tee because I'm cool like that. I wanted to talk about my continuing evolution of Ayyubid. So those of you who might have been watching my recent videos, you know I recently started learning them. I did like an early impressions video, which is funny because someone mentioned that is my early impressions and season 9 is almost over. Agreed, but I just started playing them. So I can only give initial impressions. But in that video, I mentioned how I heard and I've read and seen other people talk about how the Ayyubid Imperial is kind of weak. I have enjoyed Ayyubid Imperial a lot because I think Ayyubid has one of the most broken Imperial units in the game. And if you can mass it, I don't know how you lose. So I wanted to talk about it. I want to talk about the strategy I've experienced for as Ayyubid and Imp, and just kind of put a spotlight on this unit. So those of you who are trying Ayyubid or play Ayyubid can give it a go. So that unit is the Desert Raider. It's a crazy unit. It's a unit that's interesting because it kind of is good in feudal. You don't really touch it in castle, and then in Imp it gets really, really good. And we think about why. Usually why a civ is good in Imperial is because they either have great eco. So if you're both at like 120, there's something that's making your 120 villagers better than theirs. So like China, for example, they have granaries. So if you're both on farms, their granaries are doing better. English, their farms produce gold. They also have some insane upgrades for some of their units in Imperial that just make their units better than yours, along with their just natural abilities. So civs that are good in Imp usually have something that sets them over the edge of other civs. Ayyubid is considered kind of weak in Imperial because it doesn't have any real special eco upgrades. There is some passive stuff when it comes to Golden Age, but other civs have better abilities that set them apart eco-wise. What I think sets Ayyubid apart is their units, specifically their upgrades for the military units and the Desert Raider. So without further ado, let's get into the game. I'm going to fast forward through this because I want to get towards the end, right? I want to show this game also because this guy got big mad at the end, and I think that's hilarious. So without further ado, let's go. So this is my first time as Ayyubid playing against English. So here's my thought process. I went, he could either longbow rush me, or he will go King 2 TC. And in both instances, I thought it would be good if I either one, get my own second TC in match, or if he ends up longbow all-in me, I could drop a bunch of archery ranges. So I have tried this economic wing, this 350 wood for feudal, and I think it has some very niche cases. I think it's not the one you want to go for the most. I think if you're Ayyubid, you're generally either doing economic wing the most, logistics wing the most, sometimes military reinforcement. It depends on the situation. And if you're really wacky, you do Bazaar, which I want to test more at some point. Shout out to Yak. But I think the industry is great if your idea is like, I either want a 2 TC or I need to defend immediately, because you can use that 350 wood to immediately build the town center, or you can use it to build multiple production buildings and immediately start making units. So I felt like that was a good safe bet for me that covers kind of all of my bases. So we're doing our early scouting period. I decide to, so this is the risk I'm taking, is that I am going stone early, so I'm not confirming a second TC from him yet. I am just going to automatically get the stone for it, and if I end up getting burned by that, I get burned by that. The goal would then be to make archers, push him back, and if I get space, then drop the second TC when I have space. I come in and I see the Abbey of Kings, but he's not on stone, so that to me says he's either going to 1 TC all on me with Abbey of Kings, or he's going to rush castle. So knowing that he just finished his age up, I know that generally means that the king has to get out there, so I'm going to be super greedy, and I'm going to do this 4 TC and take double berries with kind of a third berries and woodline. I thought this is amazing. I can't pass this up. And basically, my plan was make a couple units, because the king will be annoying. If he is all in me, I'll just make units. If with using this TC as kind of like the defensive forward spot. If he is fast castling, I'll make a few units, and my fear was he wanted to like white tower like right here. Like I thought he was gonna run up white tower, cut off this TC, take away my woodline, and things would get ugly. So I was like, I need to make enough units to stop the white tower if that happens. And I think, honestly, I think there was a part of him that wanted to white tower rush me, but he knew that I saw what I see. I see 6 villas on gold, so that pretty obviously to me says he's trying to get gold very quickly. I'm kind of doing the TC dance. I got out a horseman, and basically I'm like, I would have made Desert Raiders if I could have, because the Desert Raiders would do well against his Would have done well against his king, but I can't make them because I'm not on gold, because I'm trying to get a tower up because I was afraid of that he was making, maybe potentially there was a horseman switch. I don't know. That was a little too, but I was also afraid his king would come. I see him trying to make a tower, so I'm going to send horsemen in. I don't actually stop him from getting the gold. I do see the subtle movement of the grass, which suggests that he's dropping the white tower in base. And what this means to me is that he's playing super passive. So yes, he's going to castle early, but he won't be able to do like a lot out of it. So my goal is to delay his gold as much as possible. I see he's trying to wall up, get the deer back there. I finally am starting to able to make more horsemen and desert raiders. And my point here is I go, crap, he's going to probably be showing up with knights here soon. I could make a bunch of desert raiders and hold. I decided to go instead advancement ring. If I had waited a little bit, I could have done reinforcement, which would have started giving me desert raiders consistently. But actually, I think the military reinforcement wing is best for imp, and I'll explain why here soon. If you don't know how the Ayyubid wings work, is that when you pick one, you lose that category of wing. But every time you don't pick it, it upgrades into a new one. So for example, if you pick military reinforcement for feudal, you only get one desert raider regularly. If you pick it for castle, you get 3 desert raiders. Regularly every 2 minutes. All of these kind of work that same way. So I was worried about getting kind of like all in with just pure knights. I didn't have enough spears. I didn't really have like enough desert raiders to hold. So I do the culture wing advancement, which is a cheaper age up and faster. And basically I just have to try to not to lose too much. I'm raiding him. I'm pushing his vills off food. He shows up with knights, and I just don't like, if I had 2 desert raiders here, 3 desert raiders here, it could have gone better. I actually do snipe his king. He's really chasing my vills around, which is going great for him, honestly. I'm at 35 vills. He's at 35, so my second TC hasn't really paid off. I am making him chase me in the back with more knights, so I'm able to kind of snipe a couple. I'm gonna get another tower. I age up. I'm getting wheelbarrow. I'm gonna start making camel lancers, and now this middle castle period is weird to me because I didn't want to overmake camel lancers, because my fear was if I overmake camel lancers, he's going to show up with spear crossbow. One of the bonuses of Ayyubid is that, and I'll talk more about this when I do more of like a breakdown centric video, is they get cheaper siege at a certain level of the Golden Age, and they can build it with their units. So you kind of lean into this idea of you go heavy cav early and then force them into a lot of ranged or a lot of infantry, and then you make the counter siege. It's kind of how I feel like the castle gameplay is supposed to go with them. So he has knights everywhere. I'm still losing vills. I'm just trying to get camel lancers out. My macro's kind of messed up, but once I start getting the camel lancers out, he can't really fight me. In my mind, I'm like, I just need to get walls up. If I can get walls up, so, you know, get walls up, secure the food down here. I have so much food still. I still have this other berries, deer, the berries and deer down here. Still these berries here. So, like, I have plenty of food. I just need to get it. And I also want to start grabbing relics. In my mind, usually when someone does this, like, a lot of knights, their goal is to make you get really defensive, and then they rush imp. So my fear is that he was going to, at any point, hit imp. So I'm trying to just get myself safe and then go imp myself. Oh my god, dude. I was just getting this wall up down here and he ran through. Like, how crazy. It's just sometimes shit like that happens. Which is why you do kind of want to be methodical in your walling and try to, like, I know he just left here. Where would be the slot that would make the most sense to come in? Down here. I should have thought of that. But he can't take a fight because my camel lancers are very good. And the camel lancers debuff the knights. So even though I'm not doing extra damage against knights, what I am doing is ruining his damage. So my camel lancers are doing more damage, though they have less health. So it's not like a perfect counter, but like if we're even in numbers, it's doing pretty well, as I have the dervish here who is doing well. So why is the desert raider so good in feudal? Well, in feudal, it can be ranged, it can be melee, it does extra damage against cav, and it debuffs cav. But also if you're chasing it with spears, it can shoot the spears and you can kite them. So there's a lot of versatility. In castle, they kind of fall off because they are fairly expensive. A desert raider is 180 resources, and you also start seeing more mass ranged in castle, where the desert raider falls off. So I'm still stopping his raids. I'm trying to get my eco fixed. At this point, I'm at 57 vills, and he is at 54. So he's done a really good job raiding me. My second TC still has not paid off. I'm trying to find spaces to raid myself. I see the massive crossbows. I go, crap. So he did a really good job. I've overmade Cav. He has started making this backup crossbows in the back. And now I'm afraid if he pushes, it's going to get really bad for me. So I start making horsemen. I'm grabbing the relics. I'm trying to take all these resources as fast as I can. Look at me, I'm the gingerbread man, because I'm afraid he's going to push any second. And honestly, if he had pushed, I don't know if I could have held, but he kept trying to raid instead of push, which is really nice for me. So I'm just defending with Camel Lancers. I'm taking Sacred Sites, and then I realized I hit Imp, and I kind of hit Imp on accident. I wasn't, at this point I was actually wanting to make units, but I kind of got on all these food sources at the same time. I got a bunch of relics, and all of a sudden I hit Imp, and I went, I think Imp's how I live. So I go Desert Raider reinforcement. I'm going to get 7 Desert Raiders every 2 minutes. I will get 7 immediately when I age up, and that's going to be really important to the defense here. I have basically in my mind decided this TC is going to die, so I'm just trying to take as many resources as I can, because I know the second I hit Imp, he is going to push. So right now I am Horsemen, I am Camel Lancers, I am upgrading my Desert Raiders, because I know they're going to be my main unit when I hit Imp, and I am so excited to show you the power of these Desert Raiders. Once they get up there, I say F it and drop a stone wall, stop raiding me, get out of my life, let me live. He pushes just when I aged Imp, and I'm sure in his mind he's like, easy. He's like, I am mass spear and crossbow. He is pure cav. He's dead. And when I saw the spearman, I went, I think I'm dead. But I age up and I immediately get 7 Desert Raiders. I'm going to immediately get the Imp upgrade for Desert Raiders. And then I need to rush the University upgrades. So basically, I need to live until the University upgrades hit. I throw a key, and I had been macroing for stone knowing he was going to push, so I put a keep in the back here to kind of set up my like safe area. I'm going to hold here. I'm going to pull all my vills back. And luckily, I did find this berries up here that he's not checking. So I've only put gold into Imp upgrades for Desert Raiders. So I've already decided Desert Raiders is going to be my main unit here. I'm going to get 7 every 2 minutes, and luckily, all my production buildings, both archery ranges and stables, can make Desert Raiders. So I'm just making Desert Raiders and getting them to Imp. So let's talk about why they're such a freaking broken unit here. So generally what makes a unit very good in Imp is if it naturally has a lot of special abilities, or it can get multiple university upgrades. So let's think of some good units, right? The Streltsy for Roos is an amazing Imp unit because it is cheap, it does a lot of damage. If it stands still, it does faster, it shoots faster, I think like 20 or 25%, and it has melee. It has a high melee damage, so even if you get on top of it with Horsemen, they're going to hold their own. Arbaletier for French, similar idea. As crossbows, they can have really high melee damage, they can have really high range damage. They if you get them firebolt, they can kill anything. And so Chinese hand cannoneer, they shoot farther, which means that they engage first. Order of the Dragon Gilded hand cannoneer shoot the fastest in the game. But we know what's special about, and you think about like the Englishmen at Arm, they get both the University upgrade and all their special upgrades. The Desert Raider gets 3 University upgrades. 3. It gets biology, so it gets 25% extra health. It gets incendiary arrows, so now its range is a lot better. And it gets silk bowstrings, so it has that better range. Then, if we look at the old blacksmith, I can then research infantry support in Imperial, and that means if I have any infantry near my camels, they get 3 extra armor. So all of a sudden, they go from a pretty low tier castle unit to a tanky monster that can range shoot anything, that can then, if they get cav coming up them, can pull the swords. And where's one of my Desert Raiders here? Look at the stat of the Desert Raider. I want to show it now before I get all the upgrades. Here's the Elite Desert Raider. 19 sword plus 19 versus cavalry, so horsemen aren't really doing anything to them anymore. 11 ranged on the bow. 7 melee armor. 7 melee armor. In Imp, so men at arms aren't really doing anything to them, and I'm going to start getting that ranged armor. So look at these stats now, and then as I get the rest of the upgrades, it's going to get crazy. And keep in mind also, their attack speed for the bow is 1.25, which isn't that bad at all. Where's his crossbows? Crossbows attack at 2.12, so I'm shooting as a Desert Raider almost twice as fast as a crossbow. So, yoy. That's what makes him so broken. 3 university upgrades and the special armor upgrade. So a really good comp is you do Desert Raiders and then some Ghulams. Ghulams to take the initial hit of if they're being attacked, and Ghulams provide that armor bonus. And not only that, they are an amazing raiding unit because they can, if you do military reinforcement, they can now build siege in the field, so you can run them to the corner, drop a ram, break through walls, and then they're running through and just arrow firing villagers. And then the second they get engaged upon, pull the swords, and they're making them pay. And so it's just such an amazing unit. Let's watch as it pays off for me here. I'm gonna go raid with Camel Lancers because in this case I know Camel Lancers will just die instantly onto this, and so I want to either try to pull him back or just do a lot of eco damage because he's gonna do eco damage to me. And this whole time I am getting more and more Desert Raiders. I'm gonna get my 7 every 2 minutes, and I'm getting biology first, so they are tanky. Another 7 pop out. I now have 14 free Desert Raiders that make up the bulk of my defensive force here. Luckily, he doesn't have a lot of siege, so it's taking him a long time to get to me. I basically go to his reinforcement line. I'm just killing units as he makes them, which is really slow, which is going to start slowing him down. What's great about the Desert Raid here is that I can start taking pot shots, right? So I'm out here, bows pulled, taking shots, and then when he looks, I run away. I can keep doing this. Biology hits. My Desert Raiders now are at 219 health plus 44. So they're almost the same as his knights, his castle knights, and much higher than any of his infantry mass. And this goes my Camel Lancers too, but once again, I'm not going to make more Camel Lancers. I'm done with these. I'm just letting them kill vills and have a grand old time. Next I want to get is Incendiary Arrows. Once again, I'm rushing these Hex. I see he has a lot of spearmen. So what do? Desert Raiders, I'm just going to drop Springholds because I got military reinforcements, so now I can do that. So I'm dropping Springholds in the field here. The Knights come up. Oh, no, not Knights. I'll just run them over, pull the blades, and they are slicing Knights apart. Check this stat comparison once again. Right now, a Knight is doing 19 damage with no bonuses against a Desert Raider, while a Desert Raider does 38 damage. 38 damage. So Desert Raiders are an amazing Knight counter. And they have 7 melee armor, which is higher than a Knight's. So a Knight is only doing 19 minus, they're only doing 12 damage a hit. It's bonkers. If the Knights run away, just pull the bows, and then when they get close, pull the melee again. Dead. Alright, now I'm getting Incendiary Arrows, which is going to give them a Siege Bolt and increases their damage by 20%. Camel Lancers die, whatever, YOLO. I'm just building Springholds. I'm going to build a Manjanique, and he realizes I'm kind of boned, and he runs he runs away. We're only getting started, folks. So since he took away my second TC, I'm going to drop another second TC. I have 3 relics. I'm going to get Tithe Barns here, which will give me a lot of eco. And now look at this. My Desert Raiders can siege things down with fire arrows or just pull blades and siege it down. They are now doing 13. And here's the thing. The Incendiary Arrows doesn't show on this, but it does apply. It's weird. Like, I don't think it shows on the stat page, but it does apply. You can tell they're doing extra damage. I'm just making siege, baby. Pull the Manjaniques. Manjaniques are doing good damage. And then here's where the rain starts. Catch him on the gold. Catch him outside. How about that? He runs away. He really... And every time he wants to attack, I just run away, pull bows, and then his spearmen just take so much damage. If you make enough Springholds, the Springholds will tear through spearmen as well. So he can't really do mass... He can't do mass Springhold again. He can't do mass spearmen against Desert Raiders. Kind of his best bet is like mass longbow, and that's where the Ghulams come in, right? That's why you get the Ghulams so they can tank a little bit. Like, look at this man at arms here. He's chasing. Can we see a little pop shot? Did I do a little pop shot? Did I have the micro? I don't know if I did. I think I just ran. Oh, I wanted to see the shot here. But anyway. Oh, here we can see it here. Boom. Sick. sick stuff. I'm making a ram over here. So I can push through that side. I just keep making siege, man. Just mass siege. Look at this. Like, crazy stuff. Like, the spearman got him, but if I was kiting, completely different story. I'm gonna drop a tower. It's time to siege down English. I'm gonna break through the wall over here. These men-at-arms can't do anything. These men-at-arms are completely useless against Desert Raiders. Die, dead. Now I can do the old Ayyubid special, which is where you put your manganiques on the fire shot, and then you just click a building in the center of the mass, and the fire just starts killing all the buildings. Another little neat thing you can do with the Desert Raiders is when you pull a group and run in, have like box over the front group and have them go melee, and then have the back group just shoot arrows. So I'm now just running in, I'm killing vills, I'm using fire shots, which the fire here. So here's the thing to keep in mind: the fire doesn't do an amazing amount of damage to units unless there's like a lot of them. So like there's this weird point where like you want to do normal shots against units, but if they have such a mass, and fire actually does well, especially if you have like 5 or 6 manganiques and they're all doing fire shots, you'll actually burn through stuff pretty fast. He still chased me with these spears. Oh, these poor spears. But like he can't engage. Every time he runs up, boom. I just keep making siege of my Desert Raiders. I keep burning things down. I'm killing vills over here. He pulls all his units back to defend. So working them down bit by bit. I'm gonna drop a siege workshop right here. I'm running in with my camel, my Desert Raiders. He pulls everything, and this is when I was like, he might beat me here. Honestly, I think his issue is that he really should have done more longbows. But longbows don't do any extra damage to Desert Raiders. So they're only doing 10 a shot. I've got more ranged armor, but it's not like a significant amount. You know what I mean? And I don't even have silk bowstrings yet, which I'll get here soon. But like, I actually thought I might lose this fight here. So I have the front pull there. So the Springolds are just shredding the manganique shoot on. That's a lot of damage. Once the front line starts to die, then all of a sudden the manganiques are just doing work. He's kiting. My Desert Raiders just sitting here shooting. I'm building another manganique. My Desert Raiders in the back here. Watch this. Just gonna shoot at vills. No big deal. It's distracting. He actually starts losing this fight, but this is when I realize I need to start adding Ghulams, because Ghulams will just eat some of these shots and then my Desert Raiders cook. You know what I mean? He spent a lot on that fight. He doesn't have gold. Well, he's gonna rush back down here. It took me a while to figure that out, but I just run back with my siege. I added a second TC. My eco's still pumping. And this wasn't the fight he needed to be. I took about way more than I think he anticipated. And you see how, I mean, he needs elite longbows, right? Elite longbows probably do a little bit better against Desert Raiders. I think the counter would be just mass elite longbows, but then I could just make manganiques in the field, and that gets bad for him. So adding culverins, I catch him making a, once again, just like the ability to just run around as a Desert Raider and take these fights and run away. It's just so annoying for the English player and any player playing against them. See, I culverin down the keep. I just keep running Desert Raiders in because once again they're fast. He's mass infantry, so if all his infantry is down here defending the keep, I can just run in the other side, and then I just pull the bows, and now they're just shooting vills like crazy. Look at this. I'm running in here with another ram, because basically whenever I'm waiting for my next mass to hit, and now that I'm adding Ghulams, I'm getting them, I'm getting arrow attack. Every time I'm waiting to do something, I just immediately send Desert Raiders on either side and we're just raiding. He tries to catch him, I run away. Now I'm in the back here. A clever little trick is if you're running, send half the force forward and then you can leave like a group in the back or send another group around the side. I'm attacking from 2 directions here. And then watch this bit. Yep. Not great for you, my man. I'm just rebuilding my siege. I decided to build a Tower of Sultan for the memes. I don't really know how to use it. Let's actually look at it now together as a class. Oh, if I put Ghulams in, it would have moved faster. And it fires arrows. Okay. That's good to know. But like, he can't engage. He literally cannot engage. Every time he does, he just loses so much getting close to the Desert Raiders, and they hold up. So he finally ages up. He has elite longbowmen now, but look, they're still not. They're not doing enough. They're not. Adding in the Ghulams also just makes it impossible to maintain the fight. Every time he runs away, I just send a group of Ghulams in. This is start shooting vills. Yeah, crazy stuff. And the Gulom's paired, so now that I have the Guloms nearby, look at this. Deserator now has 11 melee armor, 4 ranged armor, and is shooting 19 on the bow. Oh, they're not shooting the bow, never mind. That's just melee, but still. I don't even have all the upgrades yet. I still need the rest of the upgrades. And I should have got Sultan's Mamluks for the freaking elite Guloms. But here's the thing, like, longbows aren't going to do anything to Guloms. So like he's stuck in this really hard spot where it's just like it feels like no good solution for him, except he needed to go max siege himself, honestly. Catch him doing this again. And now it's just me sieging him down, and eventually he loses, and then he types in the chat, the Ayyubid is broken. If I played English, I would have lost, which is okay, sure. But actually, Ayyubid has a low win rate, below 50% win rate against English, so... but overall, I think the Deserator is an amazing unit. It is very, very good in Imp, and I think it's like one of the saving graces of the Ayyubid Imperial. Let me know what you think. And I hope you then take that when you look at your civ and figuring out what's your best unit based on the upgrades, based on what you can get for it, based on its cost, things like that. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you have any questions. If you're interested in coaching or supporting the game, check out my coaching Discord and in the link below, as well as a link to my Twitch. Thank you so much, and good luck on your games.